fixed odd multiples, and betting with your mobile phone. To get started, all you need to do is register by filling in your personal information. Log into your account using Internet Explorer only and start wagering. Take a look at our online tutorial demos so you can take advantage of our powerful wagering features.
Picadors with the red blinkers and Comanche Moon's trying to run on. But it's Kingsbridge as they come to the 200-metre marker. Copper Base trying to make a race of it. Picador on the outside and Comanche Moon's trying to run on. But Kingsbridge past the 100 has gone clear. And it's Kingsbridge. And it's clear out here, carrying too many guns and will win. And Kingsbridge has got it won by about 3 lengths. Second will go to Comanche Moon. Picador will run third. Kapiti Coast fourth. And behind that, Alpine Savvy.
Well, last week we picked this horse up as a horse to follow. You only had to wait a week to go end up backing him. He's opened up like 15 or 16 to 10. Yeah. And shortened to 9 to 10 with the bookmakers. Any time it was 9 to 10, you could have got 12 to 10 or better with Interbet. So, you know, in bucket loads, it was just there for
He was a plum. He looked very hard to
He looked like an odds-on shot in the race. Running against a whole lot of real, very ordinary horses. Yeah. And this is a horse that we picked out as a horse to follow. Nice horse. And,
good-looking horse too.
He might go on and win some more races. He's a very nice horse. Might need gelding, but they did a good job, the Antonys, with him. And Interbet was the only place to have a bet if you wanted to have a bet. So let's move on and go and have a look at the current affairs.
Right, welcome to this week's edition of Current Affairs. Again, no group racing around the country. We're building up, as we said, to Vin Diesel and De Hevel's Fantastis and the big race up in the Vol. But around the world, interesting things are happening. Let's start off in America, James.
Yeah, America, interesting thing in America is the champion 2-year-old of last year is retired, Hanson. Now, Hanson's an interesting horse because the owner was given it as a Christmas present and he named it after himself.
Egotistically.
Well, some would say.
Some would say.
He's a doctor, Kendall Hanson, and this horse has got a tendon injury, and he's retired. He's going to stud. What is interesting is that this guy, because of his doctorship and knowing about treating injuries, he injected stem cells into this horse's tendon to try and help heal it, and it didn't work.
Didn't work, actually. I remember reading somewhere that he was amazed at the amount of damage that was there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's retired. Well, that's a pity, but it was a great horse. Wasn't he the guy who wanted to put colours on his horse or whatever?
He wanted to paint his tail blue for the Kentucky Derby.
That's right.
Which, you know, I would have painted a bullseye on his backside if I thought he was going to win. You know, nice
ended up being a blue
bullseye on his backside.
All right, let's move on to what's been happening. Let's go North America to Canada, Wigmore Hall.
Well, he's won the Northern Dancer Stakes for the second time. Jamie Spencer and Michael Bell. He's obviously a horse that likes Canada because he's done very well there, and this is their biggest Group 1 in Canada.
By High Chaparral.
Yeah.
He's a very, very good stallion, High Chaparral, a theatrical mare, so he's a very well-bred horse. He came over to Dubai as well, James.
Yes, he raced in Dubai, not with much success, funnily enough, but you know, they keep him on the go the whole year, and you're going to find he's going to go off like all horses do. But he's done his job, won the Northern Dancer again. But let's go and have a look at the big one. The big one was the St. Ledger. This was the first horse to win the Triple Crown since Nijinsky.
Yeah. Interesting, before we look at it, James, just, excuse me, interrupting you, but I did a little bit of research into this race, and a lot of people were saying it's a tough call for this horse because of the Derby field. There'd been 25 runners for 5 wins. It was really substandard, they were saying, and it looked like it was at his mercy when one looked at the betting, eh?
Yeah, I thought that, you know, initially when we watched the race, that Joseph O'Brien made a mistake. Nothing was said about it except on South African television.
Correct.
And when you watched the race again, you'll see basically he's just a bit unlucky in that the horse gets a run on him and the other horse. But the way this horse quickened up in the Guineas and in the Derby, you'd expect him to quicken up and go past.
You know, just reading afterwards that his father had said that no one likes the horse more than his son does. His son's passionate about this horse. And he really felt he should have put a pacemaker in because the pace would have been better. But he thought with John Gosden having 3 in the race that there would be a pace, which the commentator, I think, calls it an even gallop. Let's go and have a look at it, James.
Yeah, let's go and pick it up at the start, and then we can comment further.
And very slow away was Main Sequence on leaving the stalls. Trails them by about 2 or 3 early, as Dartford it is who presses on in the early stages and crosses over to lead Thoughtworthy through the first couple of furlongs. So Dartford, the pacemaker, at an even gallop, leads Thoughtworthy in second place. At this stage, in third, is Thomas Chippendale on the inside of Ursa Major, racing in fourth place. In fifth is Enker on the inside, Mikel Barcelona of Frankie Dettori on Michael Angelo. Joseph O'Brien has Camelot steady towards the rear of the field. Main Sequence has been able to make up the ground lost at the start, and Guarantee is another one that is held up in the early stages. So the pace is no more than even being set by Dartford, with Thoughtworthy positioned in second place in pursuit of the leader. Thomas Chippendale in the check colours with the white sleeves races in third, just ahead of, in fourth place, Ursa Major. In fifth, the Godolphin Blue and a little keen is Enker on the inside of, in sixth place, the black jacket of Michael Angelo. Camelot unhurried at this stage, races in seventh. In the purple and white, ahead of Guarantee, and Main Sequence is at the rear of the field. So they're preparing now to take the turn that'll bring them steadily back towards home. Out in front, Dartford, but has not set a frenetic pace, and as a result, the field is still pretty well bunched, with William Buick in second place on Thoughtworthy in a position to control the race. In third place is Thomas of Enker. Racing in sixth place then is Michael Angelo, as the pace just allowed to increase slightly. Camelot, Guarantee and Main Sequence are still towards the tail of the field. So out in front, it's Dartford who leads the ledger by a length from racing in second, Thoughtworthy. In third is Thomas Chippendale. In fourth is Ursa Major ahead of Enki, on a long raid in fifth for Mikel Barcelona as they prepare to swing back towards home. Then behind these is Michael Angelo. Camelot still unhurried in about seventh place as they prepare to straighten, with Guarantee and Main Sequence. And now Dartford is really trying to press the metal, has extended 3 lengths clear from Thoughtworthy, Thomas Chippendale. Still Camelot is unhurried in seventh place as the race begins to develop. Thoughtworthy poised on the heels now of the pacemaker as they pass the 4, is the first to go and commit. Ursa Major racing in second place, Thomas Chippendale, Enki. Camelot taking the brave route up the inside, should have to avoid the pacemaker, eases off his heels. Then Michael Angelo. Thoughtworthy leads the ledger from in second, Ursa Major, Thomas Chippendale, then Enki. Camelot just trying to find an opening on the inside, is in about fifth place, angles out underneath Michael Angelo. Thoughtworthy leads from Enki. Camelot is now asked to stretch as Enki's gone to the front of the ledger, a furlong and a half from home, and has got a break on Camelot, who's got 3 lengths to find. Michael Angelo is back in third. Enki leads by 2 lengths, has got a bump on Camelot in second, who's chasing Enki, but Enki's got first run and is going to deprive Camelot of the Triple Crown. Enki for Mikel Barcelona, and Mahmoud Al-Zaruni won the ledger. Camelot, what might have been in second. In third was Michael Angelo ahead of Ursa Major and Main Sequence. Thoughtworthy didn't get home. Thomas Chippendale, and all the way back to Dartford.
Right, here's the slow-mo of the race, because as James was saying, a lot of people were putting the boot into the young rider. And you can see Camelot here in the purple and white, and the winner, Enki, is probably 2 lengths ahead of him as they turn into the stretch. The pacemaker is the one who compounds, who's in front, the horse in the black silks, who causes your favourite to switch. But, you know, I'm of the opinion that the guy rode a perfect race, and the horse just didn't quicken at the right time. Enki went on, and we'll get a good view of it now as they turn into the straight, yeah.
What is interesting, Lef, is that Barcelona stays off the rail on the horse that wins, Enki. And Joseph O'Brien here goes up the inside, which I think was the cardinal area. If you'd followed Barcelona, he might have beaten him. He might have beaten him. I'm not sure that he would have, because Barcelona now pulls his horse out. You'll see he pulls him out, and he gets into him straight away. And O'Brien's still going with a handful. He's absolutely cantering next door to him.
Sorry, that's it.
That's the black horse.
They've just gone through the two pole. Now, he's 3/4 of a length behind. He's got every chance. He's got every gap.
Look at him. He's cantering, and Barcelona is now asking his horse to
now, Barcelona, 3/4 of a length behind the winner. Now he asks him to run. He says, go out there. I've got one horse to beat. It's the horse in blue. He switches him out. There's the 400-meter mark. 400-meter mark they pass. And you can run it on. That's all. They stop it there. But from then on, he couldn't get home. And a lot of people had a full go at the youngster. And he rode it up perfectly. I thought he sat there, 3/4 length behind. The horse shoots 3 clear of him, Enki. Interesting.
Whatever anyone says, you've got to take your hat off to Barcelona for his ride to the finish. Was outstanding. For his ride after the finish, he's a bloody cowboy. Okay? And let me tell you, this guy is going to cause an accident.
Do you know the first time I met him? He walked into Michael de Kock's stables with Soumillon.
Yeah.
I thought he was Soumillon's son. You've never seen a younger looking little guy. I said, hello, and he walked on. Yeah. And I thought, who's this little guy? I didn't even know Soumillon had a son, you know, but I found out he was the guy who saluted when he won the Derby by a head or a short head.
Yeah.
But James, the Ark's coming up. There's been a bit of interest.
Big interest in the Ark, because we've got the Japanese champion, Orfev, had his warm-up, and the Pre-Foy absolutely dawdled in.
Now favourite.
Now favourite for the Ark. But last year's runner-up, Beyond Daydream, also had a warm-up in the Prix-Vermeil, and she won pretty easily. They say that she won better than the Orfev won on the day. Her name's Charetta.
Australian Horse of the Year?
The others, before we get there, Moonlight Cloud won the Prix Moulin, which is a very big race in France.
Yeah.
It's a Group 1. By Invincible Spirit, but the interesting thing is he's out of a Spectrum mare. Spectrum stands.
That's right, correct. That's very good, Ventura.
But
and then to close with Australia having the Horse of the Year.
Did you have to mention? I thought we'd run out of time.
No, you've got to mention the superstar Black Caviar. She's won it again, Horse of the Year.
Yeah, second time in a row, and she's third time that she's won Sprinter of the Year. So good luck to the Black Caviar connections. But what's coming? Even more interesting.
Absolutely.
Have you ever had a swimmer on our show?
A swimmer?
What I want to ask you to ask Bert Leclerc, how did he find Ian Balding's daughter? You know, in that first interview that he did, just get the lowdown on that. On that interview with Claire Balding, because Claire Balding's interviewed a lot of people. I don't think she's ever had an interview that's that popular on YouTube.
Funnily enough, I was over in England a couple of months, just about the Paralympics time, and Claire Balding's brought her book out. She's now she's a lesbian, and she's come out with a book, and she had to take it to her father to read. And they say this is the biggest thing since her interview with Bert Leclerc.
Yeah, I don't think Bert knew. I think he was hitting on her.
It could have been.
Anyway, let's call it a day. We'll be with the Leclercs in a moment, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Is a website that is selling horses every day. It is independent, proven, and reaches places most others can't. For just 500 Rand, you can advertise your horse until sold, where buyers and sellers deal direct and pay no commission. So why wait for an auction when we can do it all for you at gavelhouse.com.
Here are two from Gavelhouse this week, and this is Shaitan. He's a bay colt. They won R250,000. He's an imposing Silvano colt, as you can see, out of a Fort Wood mare. And that is Shaitan, the first one. The other one is Mannequin, and this is, as they say, millionaires for stud. They won 350,000. She's a bay mare. And these horses that we have been showing have been selling. We've seen them move on, Slinky Malinky. But now we're going to move on to your call.
position, but Military Roses giving them a bath. That's one of the biggest millions I've ever seen. Grace Valana, the leader. Grace Valana